So here is your master file. Oh, first of all, here's our Canvas site, right? If you go to part 2, here it is right there. If you click on that, it'll download and give you this handout here. And where do you find the master file? If you go back to home, you go down to our project part 1. At the bottom of part 1 is a link to our class master file. I'll try to remember to copy that over to part 2 as well, since we need it there, but if not, it's there in part 1. So you go here, and remember, you all have those 4 questions. So say I picked, what location would you most like to visit? Okay, I'll pick that one. I'm going to right-click on the D itself. If you click on the letter, it highlights the whole column. Then I can do Control-C, and I can open up Excel, or I can go to File, New, and open up a new spreadsheet, and pop it into there. So I'll click on here or there, and I'll hit Control-V, and I'll paste it into there. And say I want another one. Let's pick favorite holiday. Sure. Control-C. Go over here, Control-V. And I don't know. Fastest speed you've driven. Miles from school. I don't know. Height. Sure, we'll do height. Control-C. Control-V. And the last one. Hours of sleep you get a night. Control-C. And Control-V. So then you have all your data over here. There's a couple things to note. One is I kind of pointed out some stuff like how do you figure out the cells. So every column is a letter starting with A. Every row is a number starting with 1. So like this one here is, down here is column H and row 17. So this would be H17 right here. Good? Everybody on board with that part? That's how you figure out what row you're talking about. There's also a formula bar up here, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then there's this left corner copy thing. So we talked about how to copy the data over. I just showed you how to do that. And a couple things like editing. Right, so if you type stuff into something, and I want to type stuff in, and then I want to enter that, I can either hit enter or down arrow or left arrow or right arrow, and it will enter it into there. And then I say, oh no, I've made a mistake. I want to undo that. This little undo button right here undoes that. So then it brings it back. If you're in the middle of it and you realize that, oh, whoops, I just put my hand on this and I didn't mean to, hit escape before you hit enter, then it will pop it right back out right there. So those are kind of the useful things to help you. Undo is a really good friend of yours. It always works in Excel. It sometimes works in Sheets, and I don't understand when it does work and when it doesn't work in Sheets. Like sometimes I can undo and sometimes I can't. Yeah, I don't know why. So Excel is reliable in that sense. Talked about copying and pasting. I showed you how to do that. Oh, and then also you want to copy this. So I have this copied into Sheet 1. I want to copy the whole sheet. I don't want to mess with stuff in Sheet 1. I'd rather leave Sheet 1 alone and mess with Sheet 2. So I'm just going to copy the whole thing. So this little square here between the A and the 1 up here and the upper corner up here, you click on that, it highlights everything. And then you can do Control-C. And then see this little plus mark down here at the bottom? That creates a new sheet. And then you can just hit Control-V from there in that first spot, and that will give you a copy. So this is exactly the same as the first one. It's just, these are the same. Sheet 1 and Sheet 2 are the same. All right, what else? Copy, paste. This kind of gives you directions on how to do this as I'm showing you. Yeah, no, I'm just raising your hand to hold it. Okay, that's okay. All right, and formula bars. So see where it says Italy up here? Everyone see that? It's because I'm on the Italy box. If I go up here, it'll put whatever's in that box. And say I just wanted to say I would like to put what location visit. I just want to be able to see that faster and easier, so I can just location visit. And I can do that. and just, it will edit that. I can edit things in this box. As I bump around, wherever I am is where that goes. If I want to make this, a couple other things, if I want to make this column wider, so it fits everything, then if you see my little white arrow here, if I slide along, all of a sudden it becomes a double arrow, left, right. If I left click drag, I can make that bigger and make the column whatever width I want it to be. The other thing that's cool is, say I have something I want to be the same. Let me show you the sorting first. So sorting, I would highlight everything you want, all your data, and the first part, I would just sort it by column B. So data, sort range. I have it. I clicked on the header rows, so I'm going to click header rows. That's my questions. If you put the questions in, then click on that. If you ignored the questions and went below that, then don't click that. So do I want to do it on what location, favorite? No, I want to do it on location. We'll sort on that one, A to Z. So if I sort, it'll sort them all together on the first one. So you'll see it looks like a lot of people want to visit just one Africa, just one Alaska, Amsterdam, Antarctica, Asia. Wow, okay. Australia, a bunch of Australias, Austria. So it looks like maybe I might want to go with areas, like the Europes. I might want to change like Amsterdam to just Europe. You guys kind of follow me? Because I have way too many categories. Does everyone kind of see this? Cinque Terre, Italy, there's just way too many. Costa Rica, countryside, Cuba, there's way too many categories here. So I might just make a bunch of them Europe. So all the ones that are Europe, I'm just going to overwrite them. I'm just going to click on them and make them Europe. So this is just Europe. Oops. Europe. Click on up here to fix it in the category, in the formula area. Let's see what else is Europe. Austria is Europe. What else? Let's see. Boise. Wow, okay. Here's an Africa. I guess make this Africa, right? Because there's another Africa. Fiji and Bali. I could probably make those South Pacific, or someone else just did tropical, right? Tropical island. And so like that'd be Bali, that'd be Tahiti, that'd be Bora Bora, right? Bora Bora is right. That's in Tahiti. Bali is kind of not that far from there. What else falls over there? Koh Samui falls over there. Hawaii technically would fall into like tropical islands, right? Fiji, obviously, Easter Island, all those would kind of fall into that tropical. Yeah, Easter Island's tropical. If you ever go there, bring your own soap. Soap is $3 a bar for a bar of soap.
Fiji?
No, Easter Island. Fiji was not that bad. Fiji was super cheap, actually, because there's a lot of people in Fiji. And I don't know why it's cheaper there, but stuff was cheaper in Fiji. Vietnam, that'd be Asia, right? I just would probably just make that Asia. So you probably want to, like if you have a bunch of stuff like Japan, see how I have all these Japans? I'm probably not going to make them all Asia, because there's a lot of them. So it kind of owns it by its own, you know what I mean? But I would probably make it other Asia or Asia for all the other ones that are just one or two of them are. If I only have 2 Vietnams, I'd probably just make that Asia, right? If I have 3 or less of something, I'd probably just make that all into a larger group of others. Does everyone understand what I'm saying?
There's like one thing that's like completely random. What would you put that under?
Find an other category it fits under, and there's no other category it fits under, then make it just a general other category.
Other.
Like I think I would have other Asia, other European or Europe, other blah blah blah, other South Americas, yeah.
Can you do like regions like Southeast Asia or like
Yeah, totally. You can totally do that, right? And same thing with majors, right? You might do like other STEM, right? Maybe there's a lot of biology, so you do the biologies alone. But maybe like the 1 math you have and the 2 chemistries you have and the 3 physics you have, you put them into other science or other STEM. You guys see what I'm saying? All right, so, kind of figure out, but you should have no more than 12 categories. This is your group A stuff. You're only doing your group A for this because this one, your group B, should only have 12 in it. Your group Bs, I chose those on purpose because most of them only have 12 or less in them already. So you shouldn't have to do anything with the group Bs. It's only group As that you need to be doing this with. If you screwed up and you picked 2 group As, then you better change and email me and pick a group B because you don't want to be doing this twice. Right? You probably only want to do it once for the group A. All right, so that's enough about that one. And then counting. You need to count them. You need to count them. So here, if I count them, how do I count them? See how these two are alphabetical? Alphabetical, yes. Numerical. So here, well, let me put it this way. These ones over here, I'm going to do counts. So equal, count, parentheses. And if you look over here, it literally gives you this right there. You guys see that? The count function? So that you're going to use for the numerical data. And what do I want to count? I want to count all the stuff above it. So I'm just going to left-click drag and grab all of them. And then once I have them all, parentheses, enter. It counts them all for me. The nice thing is, here's a cool thing you can do. I want to copy this. So see how I have a little white arrow now? If I go here, I get those little crosshairs. You guys see the black crosshairs? When I get that, I can left-click drag, and it will copy that over to the other one too. So apparently there's 122 options here, there's 123 over here. Probably because this blank one right here is going on. So this will be the same thing, only count for column E instead of column B or A. And I could drag it back here. The problem is that these ones are alphabetical, right? So it's not going to count. There are no numbers here. So then I'd have to go into them and edit them. So I could click on one and edit it. Where do I edit it? Back up here, in my formula spot up here at the top. I want to say count A because it's alphabetical. If I do that, all of a sudden it will have numbers in it. 123 instead of 0. So that we talk about that right here. Right? So this kind of tells you kind of how to do it, generally speaking. Like your numbers might vary, but it should be like B2 to B 140, 123, something like that. Whatever your spot is. Does that sort of make sense for folks? All right. And then once you get that one, you could left-click drag that one over to this one. And then you also need to do minimum and maximum only for the numbers, because you can't have a minimum and maximum of Christmas. What would that be? New Year's? Is that minimum? I don't know. How would you even figure that out, right? There's no minimum maximum. These are not numbers. So you only do the min-max for the numerical stuff. And that's exactly the same. Equals. All formulas have to start with equals. Equals. Min. Parentheses. What is this? This is D2 colon. The last one is, looks like right here. Oops. D124. So I'm going to do equals min. Parentheses. D2 colon D124. Parentheses. Done. So the smallest value here was 56. So the shortest person is 56 inches. And the tallest person equals max, parentheses. I'm in the D column, so it's D2 colon D, what's that bottom one? 124. The tallest person is 98 inches? Is that right? I don't know. I would question that one. 98 inches?
That's 8 feet.
That's 8 feet. That seems super unlikely. 8 feet 2 inches. So I'm going to go back to that person and like bug them. 90.
9 feet 8 inches.
So someone's about to get called out.
Put them on the wires.
Oh wait, did I do age? No, I didn't do that. Can't be age because the old. 92.
Sounds weird.
what was it again? It was,
98.
98? All right, we'll do this.
7-7. So you don't have to you have that
I gotta stop it. I'm gonna do it this way. All right, edit. Find and replace. 92. Fine. There we go.
98.
Oh, 98. 98. Where is it? Oh, there it is. JE. Whoever JE is, we better talk. And we gotta fix that, like, today, before anybody else starts bumping in there and grabbing stuff. Did anybody already grab tall, height, in inches and do this already? If you did already, fix it, and we'll figure out what that should be. Okay. So I think you guys are good with that. Let's move on back to our regularly scheduled programming.